evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. I hope everybody's doing all right. Hello, RO. Hello, Mr. Hamster, Sir, Sergeant Grinch, Char, Seraphim, Mr. Vero, Chaos. Who else is here? I saw Grinch earlier over on Rumble. Not Grinch, but Papa Smurf. That's not everybody, but that's everybody I can see. Welcome, one and all, and Mouth Agape Ape. I hope everybody had a good fucking week. And Cybertoxin. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hamster will be joining us as soon as he reboots. Apparently, he is stuck in digital limbo. Because tonight, this afternoon, he texted me and said, "Hey, you want to have a stream?" And I go, "Okay." So we did. And here we are. Hey, Earthium. Now, the link is pinned in case anybody else wants to hop on, because that's the way these things are. And Hamster is going to want to, and Arzang, welcome, welcome. And everybody's welcome to hop on if you want to talk. We're going to be talking about the MGTOW meetup. That'll be the last time we talk about that until next year. But I've already been speaking with Ape about, how we're going to plan it out for next year. And I put some stuff in the MGTOW meetup room on Telegram. So we're just getting organized ahead of time, because this last trip was not the best organized. I did a much better job the previous 2 years, mostly because we ran into some situations I had not anticipated. I hadn't visited Orlando for fucking 2.5 decades, and it's changed. It's changed. It's now almost impossible to fucking move around there. The link should be pinned. But thank you anyways, Seraphim. I don't know why it's not pinned. I pinned that. I know I did. I was a little tired today because I was out working all day. And I was running late. But it took me a little longer to cook my steak than normal. I ran out of propane and had to put a new bottle on there. But hey, you get it out, you get it half cooked, you can't just leave it, or else it'll turn into fucking shoe leather. And I don't like eating shoe leather. Oh, I pinned an empty comment. Nice. I know I didn't, but that's what you're seeing. That's what you're seeing. So, yay, StreamYard. Quality at high prices. And that quality would be low quality. Rumble is not streaming. Well, maybe I need to reboot. But fuck it. I don't know what's going on. Apparently it's shit in the bed right now. I'm afraid that if I hop out, it's going to completely shit the bed. So, you guys are obviously seeing the link because you're posting it. Let me see. Maybe I can do this. I don't know. If it gets all jumpy, we'll know what happened. Bear with me for just a second. Maybe it's the curse of the ape. He is not that too terribly a happy camper. Yeah, it's pinned. What are you guys talking about? YouTube is pinned. Oh, well, while I'm on here, I'm going to wrench some folks. I never do that. Add as a moderator. Make Arzong a moderator too. Now you got the power, buddy. Who else? Did I get everybody else? StreamYard's wanting me to sign in on that, so fuck that. It's pinned at the bottom of the chat. Okay. All right. So it's working. It's taking the StreamYard link I have pinned. I guess it's at the bottom of the chat for some reason. It's fucking people up. But anyways, it's all working. At least on my end. If it's not working on your end, I don't know what's going on. But thanks everybody for pitching in. I hope Hamster gets his furry little butt back here soon. RO, you missed out on your meeting your Ridgeline brother. That fucking steak was awesome. I cooked it in butter. No, Ape was not the serious drinker. That would be Jerry. But Hamster, are you going to get on? Hamster. All right. So we had a great time, and I just could not believe the amount of shit everybody was fucking flinging at each other. It was fucking great. I loved it. We were from sun up to sundown talking smack. You know, hamster walks in the door. Rah, 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 rah. Here comes Mouth the Gape Ape, one of the big smack talkers himself.
What? There was no smack talking.
Of course there was.
There might have been some smack talking.
There might have been a little bit.
Ginger Hamster, he was about the biggest smack talker there for an old evil fucker. He sure talked a lot of shit.
Yeah. But
he must think that people won't beat his old ass.
Well, I don't. I'm not too far behind him.
Yeah.
No, no, we didn't sit around and talk about our feelings, RO. We don't drive ridge lines.
Although somebody was there that owns two of them, so he talked about his feelings a little bit. But we
Yeah.
shut that shit down quick.
Hey, Trout, welcome to the show. But Hamster never did get his fucking name right. It's Honeycomb. He had every other kind of fucking.
Yeah, he kept calling him Honey Bee, and then he kept saying that Honeycomb's brother was his son. His son was 54 years old.
Yeah.
Well, he's blind in one eye and can't see out of the other one, so you got to give him a little bit of a break, I guess.
Well, he really is blind in the one eye. I always used to give him shit about it, fucking his glasses being all scratched up. I didn't realize that he didn't care because they didn't make any difference. And I ran out of fucking off today. So I got some more off on the way home. Absolutely a fucking necessity around here. When you go out into the wilderness of Nebraska, you have to put on the tick and flea stuff.
You know the stuff I found the best, that works the best for me, and it doesn't stink like DEET real bad?
What's that?
3M makes it. It's called Ultrathon. They used to sell it at Walmart, and it lasts like 12 hours, but it doesn't have near the DEET smell that regular off has. And I think it's got a little of the Perinthium in it, or whatever they call that.
Well, with as wet as it's been the last few weeks, we've had an explosion of fucking ticks.
Oh, I bet.
So I'm doing the deep woods off.
Yeah, that Ultrathon is a flea and or a mosquito and tick repellent.
Yeah.
So Hamster wants to have a stream, and then he doesn't fucking get on?
Yeah, apparently he's having some technical difficulties. What's up, Sutnar?
Yeah, they're probably 12-ounce difficulties.
No, his actual text was, "I won't get drunk. Let's have a stream."
And you believed him.
Well, that was my first mistake.
RO says, Irish Spring soap repels bugs. Put a bar in your chest pocket. He puts a bar between his cheek and gum.
Well, he puts them between his cheeks, but that's not his gum.
Oh.
But his soap comes pre-dropped. Oh, shit. Well, if you guys have seen the short I put out today of Hammer reading a comment from Ape, I'd like you all to know that actually didn't come from Ape. He didn't write, "I'm a banana eating freak." We were listening to Hammer last week on our drive home, and he handed me the phone. And I didn't really understand why he handed me the phone. So I figured, well, I've got the phone. I might as well write something. And I did.
He set me up.
I did.
And then laughed about it. I mean, he laughed. I thought he was going to shit himself. He laughed so hard.
I figured, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. Especially, it's fucking just handed to me on a silver platter.
I
Yep.
didn't think he'd do that to me, but now I know better.
You do it to me too, and you know it.
Probably, but I didn't have the opportunity.
you, you know, I'm just not stupid enough to hand you my phone.
I guess I'm just too young and too trustworthy.
Well, trusting. Anyways,
Or that too.
you were distracted. We were driving
Yeah, I
through
was
the
doing
mountain.
fucking 75 miles an hour through the fucking Smoky Mountain.
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
We were trying to get through to Chattanooga before it got dark, and we just rolled in dark, and then we just kept on going.
That's right. All night long. Ape
And then I
lasted
went
about
all day
what?
long.
Well, you made it halfway through Tennessee, and then you had to crash.
Yeah.
And I drove us into Missouri from there. Tennessee,
Yep.
Illinois, Missouri, or Tennessee, Kentucky, Missouri, and then you drove me back to Kansas. You drove yourself another fucking 12 hours home from my place.
Yeah. Yeah. It was
Yes, we brought Sam home, RO.
it was what, 3 hours nap, 2,040 miles, 2 meal stops, 34 hours. And it took me fucking 4 days to recover.
Yeah, that's way too fucking long. Well, next year we're planning on going out to Utah. And I was hoping the hamster could get on here because he kind of figures into these plans.
Well, the one thing good about going out there, Brandon,
Yeah.
is there will be no temptation for him to buy 2 dozen sub sandwiches because there won't be any place to make them.
Well, he wouldn't get them anyways.
He's all talk.
He is. Hamster promised us 2 dozen fucking what is it? Public sandwiches.
Yeah, there were sub sandwiches
Submarine
for
sandwich.
public.
Yeah.
Well,
And did we get a single sandwich from Hamster? No. Did Hamster contribute anything to any of the meals? No.
snarky commentary.
Yeah, snarky comments, and he took videos with his fucking 75-year-old camera.
He said, "Now stand still, boys, while I light this gunpowder off."
Oh, shit. So
he put a video out today of him fingering Dallas's meat.
Oh, he loved fucking Dallas's meatloaf. He gets a piece of bread, grabs up these 2 giant pieces. It's
That
like
was the biggest meatloaf sandwich I'd ever seen.
fucking puts another slice of bread on top of it and goes to town.
If he had any teeth, he would have really put a dent in that sandwich.
Well, luckily it was meatloaf and he didn't have to chew it too hard. And I'm kind of miffed at you, Abe.
Again,
you know, I went out of my way and asked you what your favorite kind of ice cream was and what you wanted in it, and you wanted the beaver's butthole flavored ice cream with hydrogenated soybean with chocolate flavor. I mean, Oreo cookies in it. So I made an ice cream pie with beaver butthole flavored ice cream. And he didn't even realize I was making him a birthday cake.
And I had to go fucking buy the shit. But you did reimburse.
I paid you for it. You just had to drive.
And pick it up and fight all the fucking immigrants at Wally World.
Yeah. RO probably wouldn't have gave me a blowjob for that. But
I almost died.
Yeah. Yes. Vero has the gist of it.
Well, I just thought you were just asking for opinion.
No.
I didn't say fucking coffee flavored ice cream.
That's what I wanted.
Yeah, and I searched that whole freaking store and I couldn't find any of that shit. They didn't have any.
Well, you know, you got the instant coffee, so we just made our own. And I thought it tasted pretty good.
Hammer
fucking ate the shit out of that stuff.
And then he said, I don't know, did I have any of that pie? Fuck yes, you had some of that pie.
Hammer himself ate about half of that fucking of those 2 pies. So we're not going to Salt Lake. I mean, Grinch. We're going to be going to Bryce Canyon,
which is 268 miles south of Salt Lake.
Right.
That's 9 miles difference between Salt Lake to Bryce Canyon and Vegas to Bryce Canyon. Vegas is closer by 9 miles.
I told you it was closer.
But it's a lot cheaper to fly into Vegas than it is Salt Lake City, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that dog just cut a fart. She got up and walked out of the room. Oh.
She couldn't stand it. She had to fucking walk off. She crop dusted you.
Oh my God. I took her to the lake today because for my birthday, my mom gave me a couple of park stickers to put on vehicles. You know, we have to pay about $80 a year for the privilege of going to our lakes.
Right.
So I put it on the truck and took her to the lake and through the lake stick. She has a lake stick we take with us. And
right.
Threw it in the lake and she got all wet and stinky. And then she come back and she just touched the atomic bomb off. Oh, yeah. She just come walking back with her ears down and her head down. Yeah, you know what you did.
And Grinch, you know, the Utah trip is not written in stone. But I do think we figured out a method for staying all together and not having a lot of the problems we had this time around. Because, let's face it, nobody really wants to sleep in a bunk bed. And a lot of these larger rental places you can get on Airbnb have bunk bedrooms. And, you know, so what Ape and I were talking about was they have these what would you call it? It's sort of a campground with a whole bunch of
they're campground RV parks.
And they've got a whole bunch of tiny cabins.
Yeah.
Hey, D-Man 50.
Hey, D-Man. And they're reasonably priced, too. They go from $120 to $330 for 2 nights. The $150 ones look to be about the best compromise. And some of them have king bed suites or king beds and have a full kitchen. And then the other ones that are on the lower side don't have a kitchen. They just have a microwave and a bathroom and bed. But for anybody that wants to get in the cooking competition, get one of the suites with the kitchen in it, and it's not very expensive at all.
No, that was what, 156 for the
Yeah,
for the suite.
yeah, for the king
But
one
that was
with
just one. That was just one campground, and they had 8 campgrounds around there. So
like
and
30 of those cabins apiece.
yeah, and Billy Von Baum wanted fucking horseback riding, so there was 8 of them that all had fucking horseback riding as well. So watch that fucker not show up. Hey, we got this place special because it had horses for Billy.
He'll show up and wear a yellow helmet all the time. We won't know if it's truly him or a doppelganger.
Yeah, we're thinking about out west, D-Man. But there's some other places we were talking about. If Zombro was still alive, we would have had this year's in Diamond National Park there in Arkansas. There's like a national park where you can go pan for diamonds. It's pretty fucking cool, and it's pretty. And then we would have been staying in Hot Springs, Arkansas, because there's lots of fucking nice places around there. Oh, and RO says and RO says we've got to stay in a KOA campground.
We probably could get a discount. I know a guy that runs one. We could probably get hooked up.
Maybe. We probably get a lifetime ban.
Well, fuck them if they can't take the joke.
Yep. But right now we're thinking about going to Bryce Canyon, D-Man. But we've also been thinking about with Grinch being sick, doing it like in the Alleghenies. But like I said, it's not. We haven't got anything written in stone. It really just depends on what everybody's thinking about New Year's, because New Year's is when you have to make the reservations, or else you will not get a fucking place. But the time is going to be the last weekend of April, just like we've done the previous 3 years.
And we were talking about, and if Hamster would get on the fucking stream, I think he's not even in the comments. I bet he just went to bed. He's probably making soup.
Maybe.
But talking about going down to Colorado, picking him up, meeting you down there. And if Saunders goes, I could pick him up on the way and go down there and rent like a 16-passenger van and drive it over to Utah. And that way, when everybody's probably going to have to fly into Vegas and rent a car and come down. But then we could all just pile into this van. If we need to go anywhere, everybody could pile into this van. We'll go to the national park. If we want to go find a place to eat, do that. We're going to do our cook-off there. Those places have barbecue grills and, like I said, full kitchens in some of the suites and the cabins. So it would be a really good time. And it's peaceful and no fucking traffic.
Yeah. That's the big thing. No fucking traffic.
But we need a van because we're going to bring our our crock pots and our cooking gear, and we need to stop in Colorado and pick up all our booze and our food and go cross country with bootleg and booze and all of our food.
Yep.
RO, if you show up, we'll call it the short bus, and I'll get you a helmet with a chin strap that you can wear. like a hockey helmet. But one of those 3/4-ton Ford or Chevy vans would work great, like a 16-passenger van.
Yeah. Or one of the converted Sprinter fucking ones.
Yeah, Sprinter passenger van would work good too.
Or one of them Mercedes ones. They're fucking.
Well, they're made by Mercedes. Sprinters.
Oh, okay. I was thinking.
Yeah, the Sprinters are made by Dodge, but they've got a Mercedes engine in them. They're the same fucking thing. Just one has a Mercedes emblem on it and costs twice as much.
Oh, okay.
Grinch says he has a hockey helmet with a cage on it RO could wear. That would keep him from biting people.
Yeah. What's up, Frost?
Hey, Frost. Dallas has been to Bryce Canyon. He said about 10 years ago. Said it was absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful place to go walk around and check out.
Well, I'm looking forward to it.
And we were talking about Zion, because it's basically where we're staying is right close to Zion National Park. But I did not know, and True Blood informed me that if you're a fat fuck, you can't even go into that park because they have a width gauge.
Well, you can't go see the really cool fucking stuff. You can go into the park, but you can't go down into the fucking, where they've got the really colored rocks and the narrow canyons and stuff.
Because you'll get stuck.
Because you're a fat fuck, like me.
I was not aware that they were weight biased in the national park.
They have these two fucking poles standing up, and they say if you can't get between these poles, you can't go on this trail.
Shit, they probably turned back a lot of fucking feminists then.
Yeah. They're taking all the fun out of the national parks. They won't let fat bastards ride on the mules in the Grand Canyon no more. And
well, these horse rides they have at these places, they better have some draft horses, because otherwise we ain't gonna be able to ride them.
I don't. I'd need a fucking. The horse that I had when I was a lot fucking skinnier than I am now, that I was riding in Ukraine, was freaking half Clydesdale, half Morgan. And she was fucking 18 hands tall. Big fucking horse. And I felt bad for her then.
Well, if it makes you feel better, that horse has probably been eaten or blown up by now.
Maybe she was the place that she was living was on the northwest side of Kiev, and that's the side that the Russians attacked but failed because they ran out of gas.
Well, hopefully the horse is still kicking.
Yeah, hope so. They had lots of grass there, so even if they don't have any fucking grain for her, there's plenty for her to eat. And the chick that owned her was very, very, very devoted to that animal. So
she must have not liked her too much if she let you ride her.
Oh, for God. It didn't hurt her any. She enjoyed it. I always brought her an apple. She liked me.
Were you riding the owner too?
Maybe.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It was one of the stories that I heard on the long drive.
Well, this chick was she was the fucking, like, in the company, one of the companies I had that I had an account with, they had a girl that did fucking social media. She would put out posts on fucking, you know, Facebook and everything, right? That was her job. But she was a real fucking dingbat. And she got fired.
She got fired for not being able to post on social media and being a woman?
No, she got fired because she fancied herself an office, and she would take the press releases that the fucking marketing department would hand her and rewrite them in her own words. And it was oftentimes fucked up.
Oh. She thought she was a smart one and would rearrange everything, huh?
Yeah. You know, she was into the theater and wrote fucking stories and stuff. So
that didn't work out for her too good.
No.
Where's I don't think Hamster's going to show up.
I don't think so either. And none of these other bastards are getting on. I can't even remember that bitch's name. Isn't that awful?
Yeah, you should be able to at least remember her name.
What? There's a lot of them that I don't remember their names, so that's on me. You know.
Well, you were drinking a lot of potato liquor back then.
That's true. And good fucking potato liquor. Homemade, most of it. It would cost me 100 grima. And there's fucking 25 grima to the dollar, right? So basically it would cost me $4 for 2 liters of fucking homemade vodka from our neighbor. That's
pretty good.
And it was better than anything you can buy in the fucking store here. For fucking just cheap fucking homemade vodka. Have you ever looked up vodka yoga?
No. I didn't know it was a thing.
Oh. If one of the guys in chat wants to look that up and share the screen, it's fucking hilarious. But it's just pictures of guys that have drank too much vodka that are passed out in public in fucking yoga poses. Yeah. Well, Babushka showed me the trick to making good homemade vodka. You get a Brita fucking water filter, and when you distill it, you don't even fucking collect the first fucking 5 minutes of the distillation, and then you take the stuff between, like the 5 minute to the 25-minute mark, because it takes about a half hour to distill this in, because they use a pressure cooker to distill their liquor, right, per batch, right, and they just boil it off. It comes out of the tube, and that you hook into the top of the pressure cooker, goes through the condenser. You pour some of it down the sink, take a lot of it, and wash it through this fucking Brita water filter. And that Brita filter will take out a lot of the fucking nastiness, a lot of those carcinogenic oils that fucking give you the hangover and stuff. And then you take it and you pour it all back into your pressure cooker, and you fucking distill it again and do the same thing. And you do that 3 times, and you'll get a vodka that's, good and fucking strong, and it's not going to give you a headache the next day.
I heard that running it through a car radiator works too. That's what they do on the reservation.
Yeah.
How do they put a hose out of the top of a pressure cooker and have the pressure cooker actually work? That's interesting.
The fucking pressure cooker has got that fucking like nipple on the top of it, right?
The relief valve or whatever.
Yeah, and then you set a fucking weight on top of it for the pressure cooker, but you don't put the weight on when you're making fucking vodka. You just put a fucking tube on it. A lot of people use fucking rubber tube that they would hook onto a fucking copper tube that's sitting in a fucking ice water bath.
Oh, okay.
And then
so they're not actually, they're just using the pressure cooker for the heat to get it boiling. But it's not under pressure. They're just using it as a vessel to cook it. Okay. All right.
Right. So it's
I just about bought a homemade or a home still. I just about bought one. You can get them for pretty reasonable.
Yeah, you can. Now I'm not sure. I've listened to fucking Thumper talk about that because he does a lot of distilling for the purpose of running his engines on it.
Yeah, he makes his own fuel.
Right. And there's some weird fucking laws that you have to follow if you're going to make it for yourself. And apparently it gets kind of expensive to get a license for that.
To get a home still?
Yeah.
Should be able to buy one online. Just like a home
you can buy one online. You can buy one online, but if you fucking are making liquor, you've got to get a fucking license.
I don't need shit. What they don't know don't hurt them.
Yeah.
I'd wait for the revenuers to show up, see? Then I'd take my Thompson, see? And then we'd have a shootout, see? And I'd say, die, revenuers. Oh, you rat bastard.
I don't think I would want, the Thompson submachine gun looks fucking cool as hell. But I don't think I would ever want to fucking run a drum magazine. My brother had a fucking drum for his AR.
Well, Thompsons are fucking heavy. They're like 11 pounds. You throw a 100-round drum magazine on that, and it is heavy. I got to shoot a fully automatic Thompson submachine gun, but we were shooting 20 and 30-round magazines. We weren't shooting no drum. So, yeah, it's an unwieldy gun. It's very heavy, very awkward. And the way the stock is angled and cut and mounted to the back of the receiver, they're just made odd. They're not the most accurate weapon, but fairly accurate. I mean, I could hit bowling pins at 40 yards, but not full auto.
You're firing a pistol round, the ACP, right?
45 ACP, yeah.
Yeah.
But after the third or fourth one, she starts climbing and going up to the right a little bit. You got to really lean in and bear down on it.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was a hell of a good time. But yeah, back then, the gangsters were using them for drive-bys, and the cops were using them, and they were, had rolling gun battles in cars. So it wasn't as taxing as running the streets with a with a 10, 15-pound gun hanging off of you.
Yep.
There are a lot better pistol caliber carbines out now that are more accurate, lighter.
Well, you got to learn how to make that stuff some way. And for its day and age, would you rather have had a Thompson or a BAR?
Depends on what I was doing. 20 rounds of fully automatic 30-06 do a lot of damage in a short period of time.
Right.
But yeah,
this is the days of pre-fucking body armor.
Yeah.
So you didn't really fucking need it. But it hits with authority. That's for fucking sure.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of Germans and Italians and Japanese that fell to the 30-06 round, whether it was coming out of a Garand or if it was coming out of a BAR.
And logistically, it makes a lot of sense to have your, light cruiser or light fucking machine gun have the same rounds as your regular infantry weapon. You're just going to have, that a lot of that fucking ammo laying around. So
that BAR was a big, heavy rifle too.
Yep.
And people were a lot smaller back then. World War I, World War II, if you look at some of the uniforms, we have a military museum close by, and they have World War I and World War II uniforms. And it is amazing how small the men were back then that fought. And they, a lot of them were very young. Some of them were lying about their age. I had a great uncle that lied about his age to get into the Navy. He went in at 14. Said he was 17. Yeah. He went at 14 years old into World War II. But you look at some of those uniforms, it's like, fuck, that looks like something a 10-year-old kid could wear nowadays.
Yeah, my grandfather was born in 1900. So he was in World War I, and then he was in World War II, the Navy both times. And because when
did he stay in the Navy or did he go re-enlist for World War II?
He re-enlisted.
Wow.
He got out, opened a hardware store in Ray, Colorado. And it's still open. The family of his best friend, or his best friend bought it, and their family still runs it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because he sold it.
Drove by it several times.
Yeah, he sold it. It's right in downtown Ray.
Yeah.
Called Ray Lumber. But he sold that in 1970 when he retired. But he made it all the way through the world. Oh, go ahead.
My great-grandfather was born in 1900. And he passed away in 84. And then my great-grandmother was born in 1907. And she passed away in 2000 at 93 years old.
Yeah.
So
well, my grandma, his wife, was born in 1901 in Switzerland. And then emigrated over here with her parents, and then Grandpa made it through World War I without a scratch, and then he was in the Pacific in World War II on a destroyer. They went through a fucking typhoon, and fucking some shit came loose and fucking crushed his knee.
Oh,
and they fucking were wanting to cut his leg off. And he said, well, don't cut it off, just set it. And they just set it. and he never could bend his knee after the war. He went the rest of his life without being able to bend his knee.
Just
On his
stiff-legged, huh?
On his left leg, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, my great-grandmother was born in St. Louis in 1907. Her folks came over from Germany because she was born in 1907, so they came over prior to that. So they came over prior to World War I, immigrants. And yeah, her birth certificate from a St. Louis hospital is in German. She was born in a German hospital in St. Louis in 1907.
My great grandmother on my grandmother's side never learned how to speak German. So in World War I, they fucking hauled her ass into Denver and had to make sure she wasn't a spy.
She never learned German or English?
Never learned English. Never learned English.
Yeah.
Because they had that whole community out there. Everybody was, either a Swiss or a German immigrant, and they had German church. They all spoke German when they were in the stores and shit like that.
Well, the town I lived near in World War II, they had internment camps. They had German and Japanese prisoners.
Yep.
And the Germans, basically the internment camp was, you were a farm worker. You worked out on the farms. And some of the Germans actually did not want to go back to Germany after the war, after World War II. And some of them actually immigrated back to America, back to this area. And there's a Japanese family that lives in the area, and they have a lot of land. And the old man, the grandpa, he was a World War II internment camp. And he says, they treated us so good over here. He says, I wanted to stay. So he stayed or come back. And he died here.
Prisoner of war camp.
Yeah, prisoner of war camp. Basically.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because I don't think he was a. Yeah, he must have been a Japanese prisoner of war, but he stayed and bought land and had farms, and there's some Germans that stayed, and they said the farmers treated them better than the military ever did, and they did not mind being quote unquote prisoners, because they really weren't. They lived in basically bunk houses,
Yeah.
But yeah, they worked farms and learned how to farm and learned how to work on equipment and stuff. And a lot of them wanted to stay, and they did.
Yeah, because the internment camps were like people who were already living here. They picked them up and fucking put them in camps, versus the guys who were fighting for the Germans or the Japanese or the Italians. Those prisoner war camps were different.
Yeah, we had an Army air base out here, and quite a bit of history, from back then. It was pretty. There's a lot of history. You gotta kind of look for it though, because it's not real well known.
Yeah.
But no one else is jumping in, not even RO.
No.
He usually has something snide to say, but
you should have thrown some soap on the floor. He'd have been right out of it.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, gentlemen, we've been at it for an hour. Hamster treated this stream like a fucking public sandwich.
Yeah, I texted him and said, "Why aren't you on the stream, you bastard?" And I didn't get a text back.
Yeah.
So he lied. He said he wasn't drinking. He's been day drinking again. I would almost bet.
I bet you he's got some old piece of shit computer, and I bet you it fucking finally shit the bed on him. So,
well, he should be going to Best Buy tomorrow and go and get him a new one.
Yeah, well, if he's like me, he'll fucking nurse it along. My computer, it can't upgrade to the new fucking version of Windows, and they stopped supporting the drivers, and I no longer have fucking a camera or speakers.
I don't even own a computer. I'm talking to you on a tablet, and I have a cell phone, but my laptop ended up staying with the divorce.
Well,
but what is nice about that is that I had email still set up on there, password protected. So every time the ex-wife has to open that up, there's probably emails for me that she can't get rid of.
Well, fuck her. Anyways, no marriage, no cohabitation, no new children, and no cunts. So peace out. Yes?
Don't bring your fucking girlfriends around here.
That's right. So help each other out if you get a chance, and be good to each other. Peace out, and we'll catch you on next weekend, probably.
On the flip side.
On the flip side. Later, Ape.
Did you think I should be someone else? Well,